Now on 7, one day of private mourning passes by, and now for the first time, family members are speaking publicly about the loss of Iraq hostage Jonathan Cote.
Also tonight, a former Erie County Sheriff's deputy making a startling confession to a federal judge.
And new at 6 tonight, the Catholic Church has high hopes about the Pope's visit to the U.S. and what it might inspire young people to do.
7 News at 6 starts now.
Good evening once again. Our top story on 7 News. The family of murdered American hostage Jonathan Cote sharing their grief with the public tonight.
They spoke at a news conference this afternoon in Amherst, breaking their silence for the first time since the government identified Cote's remains on Wednesday. 7 News reporter Jennifer Stanonis is in Amherst tonight.
We're here at the high school that Jonathan Cote graduated from, Williamsville North. It was another emotional day for his family as they spoke openly about what they're going through after recently hearing of Jonathan's death.
You know, my father said he's going to forgive the men who did this to him. It's going to take me a lot of time. I know I can, but I'd like justice served.
Jonathan Cote's family meeting together to speak out after U.S. authorities notified them a body recently found in Iraq is that of Jonathan Cote. His brother. And it appears we have some technical difficulties. Jonathan's father also says he will remember his son as a U.S. Army veteran, and funeral arrangements are still being made at this time. We'll make sure to keep you posted on that. We're live in Amherst. Jennifer Stanonis, 7 News.
Now we want to go to more on those dangerous jobs in the war zone that attract so many private contractors. Here's 7 News reporter Julie Fine.
Well, there are thousands of contractors in Iraq, and condolences to the Cote family came from throughout the country today. A family who also lost a contractor in Iraq spoke to 7 News. The Cote family received the same call yesterday that the family of John Roy Young received Easter Sunday. He was also a contractor working in Iraq.
He's home now. He's back with us where he belongs. It's not obviously not the way we wanted him to come home, but we have John Roy back.
The Cote family now deals with the worst possible outcome. Jonathan's father and stepmother received a phone call from Senator Charles Schumer this morning.
We all pray for the Cote family. All I can say at this time, as a person of faith myself, is that God works in ways that we don't understand, but there is a reason for it all.
Jonathan Cote was one of more than 20,000 hired contractors in Iraq, according to the Washington Post, and Reuters cites Department of Labor statistics that show more than 1,000 private contractors have died in Afghanistan and Iraq.
They just killed him.
They're contracting out a lot of the services because we don't have enough men and women in our armed forces, particularly in the Army. The Navy and Air Force do have enough to do Afghanistan and Iraq, and push is coming to shove here. The terms are longer for our soldiers. They're using more and more National Guard, which has never been used before. Something's got to give.
Cote was an Army veteran before returning to Iraq.
I would just like to extend our family's sympathy, and I hope that this brings them some of the closure that it's brought for us.
Cote's funeral. We're live in downtown Buffalo. Julie Fine, 7 News.
Well, we want to know what you think of the federal government hiring out security details overseas to private contractors. Head to our website, WKBW.com, and answer our web poll question. We'll take your votes all evening long and bring you the results tonight on 7 News at 11.
In other news tonight, a Buffalo man sentenced today for the shooting death of a son of a state trooper. Jasmine Brown is going to serve 25 years to life in prison. 26-year-old Solomon DeJesus and his girlfriend were walking along Niagara Street when Brown began shooting at them back in 2002. DeJesus died on the sidewalk. Brown is a second-time violent felony offender, already serving time on another sentence.
Well, he used to guard inmates at the Erie County Holding Center. Tonight, a former sheriff's deputy could soon find himself inside of a prison cell after pleading guilty today to drug possession. James Reese facing a year behind bars and is now resigning from his job tonight. He was caught with 14 bags of heroin on Buffalo's west side back in November. 7 News reporter John Borsa has more tonight from U.S. District Court.
Reese pleaded guilty here in federal court today. He also resigned his post from the Erie County Sheriff's Department. Once called a long-time abuser of heroin by prosecutors, Reese also faces a year in prison when he's sentenced next month. Reese, who at one time worked for the Buffalo Police Department, was a sheriff's deputy at the time of his arrest. Last November, the FBI busted the officer after he was caught buying 14 bags of heroin on Buffalo's west side. Reese, who also had $1,400 in cash in his possession, was arrested after a long investigation after he was caught making several trips per week to a drug house that was already under surveillance.
No allegations or no information that I have that it ever went into the jail or it in any way impaired his ability to function on his job.
It's very disappointing. It's very sad that an individual that between having worked for us and prior to that working for the Buffalo Police Department in a similar position in booking, that they throw away their career.
And Reese will be back here in federal court for sentencing on June 23rd. We're at U.S. District Court tonight. John Borsa, 7 News.
New high-tech cameras all over town will make Buffalo safer. That is the claim from the police department tonight. Those cameras can pick up a license plate number from a quarter-mile away. It is state-of-the-art technology that can help to catch criminals. But police are saying no now to some advanced tools that border on invasion of privacy.
I want people to think that Big Brother was listening to all their conversations on the street. And I didn't want to scare people as they walk past the camera and say, hey, you there. You know, and all of a sudden they're looking around not knowing what was transpiring.
Is there a concern for privacy with Buffalo's new security cameras, and will they really help to reduce crime? Be sure to watch Ginger Jeffrey's report coming up tonight right here on 7 News at 11.
Some men branded as criminals are determined to clear their names. They've all served time for a 30-year-old murder they say they did not commit, but they still think justice will be served. We'll have that story coming up next.
Also new at 6 tonight, the lasting impact of last week's papal visit here in New York. Could it help save Western New York's Catholic churches?
And then some expansion news for local hospitals that could improve emergency care in both the South Towns and the North Towns.
And it's almost time to say so long to the sunshine, hello to rain and cooler temperatures. All of that in our 7-day forecast coming up.
Covering tonight's Eyewitness News, we had the good old sunshine today.
So our word for tonight, my friends, it is salubrious.
That's Eyewitness Sports.
You're watching 7 News at 6 on WKBW TV, celebrating 50 years of your life.